Hello my friends and welcome back to the channel. Staying sober can be a battle and a struggle for us all at times. Me included. I make these videos and try and be as positive as I can be and pass on a message to you and of things that work for me and things that don't work for me that hopefully will help you. But life can be a daily struggle for me as well sometimes. And my brain has been, it probably always will be, a crazy thing. It's responsible for some insane thinking still to this day. And obviously the damage that I've done to my body and my brain over the years with alcohol and drugs, it takes a long time to heal. The body's an incredible thing, and the mind and the brain is an incredible thing. It adapts and it survives. And whilst we're in addiction, it again adapts. You become tolerant to certain substances. Those substances replace chemicals that are made in your brain, sit on receptors in your brain. And when you stop all of this, your brain is quite sick. It doesn't just suddenly revert back to being normal again, whatever normal is. It tries straight away to get what they call homeostasis. The body tries for homeostasis, which really just means balance. So it'll begin to try and heal itself straight away. But it doesn't happen overnight, hence post-acute withdrawal syndrome. I've got a couple of hopefully helpful videos on the channel if you'd like to look at those on post-acute withdrawal syndrome. And I know myself included in this, I know people that have recurring withdrawal symptoms for maybe a year, 2 years afterwards, depending on the length of time they were using drugs, alcohol, the amounts they were using. There's different periods of time that the brain takes to rebalance and start making those chemicals in the right quantities again, such as dopamine, and in your gut serotonin and endorphins and oxytocin. All these things take time, and obviously noradrenaline, and all of that system needs to be brought back in line. When that's not working, hence we don't sleep. So it's a fairly long process and can be helped, as I've talked about many times, with some healthy supplementation, a healthy diet, and of course exercise. All these natural things will help you heal more quickly, but still it takes time. If on top of that, like me, I mean, ever since I was a child, I suffered from anxiety, as long as I can remember. As I got older into adulthood, before my addictions really took hold, I was diagnosed with bipolar depression. That was quite popular, although it was never really serious for me. I did have very low mood and then periods of manic activity where I was up and down and up and down and up and down, but the low mood was very, very low. And it is in my family. My natural grandfather actually shot himself, committed suicide in a hotel room. He had serious mental disorders, and these things are passed down generations. And so I've sort of dealt with that along the way with medication to start with, and then I sort of self-medicated over the years, as you're probably aware if you follow this channel, with alcohol and drugs, particularly opiates. So even now, I have to be the watcher of my thoughts. I have to not enter into negotiations with my brain. My brain, and you may recognize this, will tell me crazy shit. It will tell me quite regularly, actually, even though it would be the absolute worst thing for me to ever do in my life. It can tell me that I'm cured of addiction and alcoholism, that I've spent the last couple of years, sorting it out, working hard at it, and I deserve to be able to drink or use a drug like a normal person. And as I said in the last video, addicts and alcoholics will pursue this illusion through the gates of insanity if they're not treated, if you're not aware of it. And I know so many people, one recently who died in a group that I belong to, who was sober for years, whose brain told him that he was okay to have a couple of drinks and it would be all okay because he'd been sober for so long and he had it all under control now and he was healed and all the rest of it. Instead of that, you know, he drank himself to death. It's as simple as that. And that's how dangerous this illness is and how real it is. Incidentally, if you find my videos helpful, I'll just mention now, if you want me to carry on making them, please, would you click on the link in the description, have a quick read, and if you can help out and support the channel in any way, I'd be really grateful. As I'm struggling at the moment, I've had to borrow this phone to make this video today. So if you read in the link in the description, you'll see how you can help. And thank you so much to those who've done that already. It's much appreciated. So how do I manage my brain? Well, I've come to the conclusion that I don't listen to it most of the time because it will go off on these crazy tangents. And I try as much as I can from the moment I wake up in the morning to optimize my mood for the day, to give myself the best chance, if you like, of surviving the day. And to do that, there's ways you'll know straight away. I follow Dr. Andrew Huberman's routine quite closely, which doesn't cost, disregard the supplements he takes, because I'm not talking about those, but the actual routine, that in the morning routine he does, I've adopted because it fitted in with my own routine. It's free of charge. And basically, you know, people say, you know, oh, I haven't got time for that. And I understand people have kids and families and jobs to go to and all the rest of it. However, this just means maybe setting the alarm, if you use an alarm, a little bit earlier, just to give yourself the best chance in the day. And if you're really serious about your sobriety and your mood and your mental health, then you'll do it. It's as simple as that, because that'll then benefit those who love you, obviously, as well as yourself. So, his morning routine in a nutshell, just very quickly, he wakes up between 5:30 and 6 o'clock naturally, AM, without an alarm. He's bed by 10. He's normally in bed by 10. Obviously, sleep is of paramount importance. Sleep hygiene and getting that sleep. Wake up naturally 5:30, and he wakes up. First thing he does, a couple of glasses of water, and he puts LMNT into it, which is like salts, basically, electrolytes. However, I just use some sea salt or some Himalayan sea salt, just a couple of turns of that, a couple of glasses of water straight away, because it gets the neurons firing in your brain optimally. And then, as soon as it gets daylight outside, right, soon as the daylight starts outside, and it's early in the summer, go outside and just walk around for 10 minutes in the daylight. This will wake up all of your natural chemicals in your brain. It'll help you produce more melatonin at night time, ready for your sleep. It'll sort your circadian rhythm out, so your cycles are all in order. It'll give you energy boost, mood boost, just for 10 minutes. Don't drink coffee for the first hour and a half. That's a real hard one. The reason for that is there's a substance, I think it's ancetol or anisitol it's called, that needs to go from your system. If you wait to drink coffee for an hour and a half after you've woken up, then you won't get that afternoon crash of energy that you often get when you drink a lot of coffee in the mornings. He doesn't eat till midday, misses out breakfast, which I do. He does Nidra yoga for 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, which is some light meditation. I do similar sort of thing with meditation and gratitude in the morning. Just do some meditation on gratitude, 15 minutes. Nidra yoga, it's like scanning the body. It just helps everything relax, get you set up for the day, get your mind into gratitude, because you reprogram your mind. Neuroplasticity is real. It's new highways, new pathways being created in your mind. When you think like this, you start your day like this. These things get built over time if you're doing them consistently, day after day, repeat, 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 discipline. then it just becomes habitual doing all these things in the morning. And then if you have time in the morning, try and work out. For me, it's obviously easier because I volunteer. I go in later, sort of 10:30, 11 o'clock. So it gives me time to do an hour's exercise in the morning. If you haven't got that time, just fit that in later in the day. And when you eat, just eat healthily, just be sensible. It's all right to have treats. I mean, diets, these restrictive diets don't work. You give yourself a treat and all the rest of it, but just be aware. Try and avoid the sugar wherever you can. Try and avoid processed food wherever you can. Try and get as much fibre into your body as you can, natural fibre with veggies and high quality protein if you can afford it. I mean, I don't have much money at all, but what I do have, I try to invest in a decent diet. I don't have money for a gym, so I have some dumbbells here and I work out on my floor in my apartment every single day. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you really want, a mental sobriety as well as physical sobriety, then you'll work at it regardless of your circumstances or what you have and what you don't have, because it has to be your number one priority, your sobriety and your mental health. So don't negotiate with your brain. Your brain always wants to be comfortable. It will tell you and it will try and convince you. It's almost like when you pass a sweet shop, it'll tell you things like, oh, go on, or a cake shop, you'll smell it and your brain will say, go on, give yourself a treat. You can always start your diet again tomorrow, and it'll talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk until you give in to the impulse. And of course, tomorrow never comes because you'll do exactly the same again tomorrow. It'll talk you out of doing what you're doing. It's not comfortable to be healthy all the time. It's not comfortable to work out. It's not comfortable to feel uncomfortable feelings. But we won't get anywhere unless we cross that fear threshold and feel it and start feeling. I know this is a bit rambly and that, but the point is, I'm just trying to get across to you that I'm exactly the same as you, and we all are, that have suffered from addiction and mental health disorders. It's a constant day-to-day work in progress to try and keep ourselves on a balance. And when we recognise that we're going down this road, we need to get out and talk to somebody. We need to contact someone, a peer, someone in your tribe, whoever that may be, that understands where you're coming from, and talk to them. Don't sit on those feelings. Don't let them stew. Don't let your brain talk insanity to you, because it will. It'll try and convince you of all sorts. It'll convince you cured, convince you can drink, convince you can take a pill, you'll feel better. Of course you will. You'll feel great for about an hour or maybe 2 hours, depends. And then you'll come crashing back down to earth. Your life will be in the shit again. And it'll be unmanageable, and you will go down a road you never want to go down again. Horrific. So don't negotiate with your brain. If it goes down certain tangents, do something to distract yourself. Go out for a walk in the sunlight, exercise, read, write, journal, do something, but just distract your mind from thoughts that are taking you down the wrong pathways and avenues. Don't negotiate with your brain. Your brain will always win. So just tell it to shut up. Otherwise, what will happen is it'll convince you to hit the fuck it button. And when you hit the fuck it button, your life could be over. I hope that's been of some help. Please click the link in the description and give the channel some help if you wouldn't mind. Please subscribe, please like. Carpe diem. Stay sober, stay safe. Seize the day today. Much love to you all. Bye-bye.